Okay, let's take a look at example 3. Now, example 3, one of the things you need to know as a student of SAT is the compound interest formula, which says that if you invest amount P, uh, the future value of an amount P that you invest is going to be equal to the amount that you invest times 1 plus the interest rate that you get to the power the number of years. This formula is very key. If you do not know this formula yet, I want you to learn this. That means if I invest any amount and I get, and I generally is going to be in percent, so maybe 5%, 4%, 3%, whatever. So generally, if I know the interest is 5%, then the future value of any investment P will be equal to 1.605 to the power, say 5. That means I'm investing P over 5 years and I'm getting an interest of 5% every year. This is called a compound interest. That means your money compounds. The interest that you have will also get interest every year until you end up with the investment. So let's take a look at this problem. Say John and Mary are planning to buy a house in the future. The mortgage company told them they will need 20% as down payment for the house whenever they are ready. To do this, they deposited 12,000 in the fund that pays 8% interest compounding annually. That is the key. It's compound annually, that's the compound interest component. If they did not add any addition to this, how long would it take them to be able to buy their house? Now, so the first thing you want to do is now they want to buy $100,000 home, right? And they need a 20% down. So 20% of 100,000 obviously is going to be equal to $20,000. That's 20K. So if they have $12,000 and they invest, that means they should get to 20,000 before they can actually buy the home. You don't need to be confused about this. So the future amount they want is going to be 20,000 or more when they invest. And they're investing a P, which is 12,000. The fund is giving them 8%, so it's going to be 1.08. Notice that this is in decimals and to the power some n. The question is looking for n. So what you do, if you can analyze this up to this point, then what you do is to be safe, and you can solve this using other ways like log and stuff like that, but I'm not going to get into that. So what I will do here is I'll now come back and say, well, I have my equation. All I want is 20,000. If I hit 20,000, I'm good. So how long would it take me to get 20,000? So let's say for n is equal to 5, my f is equal to 12,000 times 1.08 to the power 5. So what we can do, let's do this. I mean, we can easily, let's bring our little calculator here and I will show you how to actually put your calculator in here. So I will say I have 1.08. I'm going to raise it to the power 5 equals, I multiply that one by 12,000 and that equals 17. So obviously that is not true. So 17,000 will not give me 20,000. Let's try the next value here. I think if you look here, the next value here is 7. So let's play with n is equal to 7. 1.08. I'm going to raise it to the power 7 equals this. I multiply that by 12,000 and that gives me 20,000. So obviously somewhere between 5 and 7 years I will get my value. So obviously the answer here will be let me move this away from here. So the answer here will be 7 years. So that is how you solve it. You need to understand the concept of compound interest from the equation, and we're going to look more into some of these because this is also generally called growth. How things grow, whether they grow up or they grow down. So we're going to look more into this, but if you don't know how the compound interest formula works, I really want you to understand this basic thing here. This is a very powerful equation. Even when you go to college, you end up using this, and it's also good for your own future investment. So we'll see more of this as you roll along. All right.